Friends, what is the greatest wealth in life? It's neither money nor fame, but humility. The greater a person is, the more humble they are. Today's story will teach us that true greatness is not in showing off, but in treating others with kindness and respect. So, let's listen to an inspiring story that will touch your heart. King Vikramaditya often disguised himself to roam around his kingdom to understand its condition. One day, while wandering, the king reached a city. As he didn't know the way, he thought of asking someone for directions. Ahead, he saw a policeman in his official uniform. The king politely asked him, "Brother, could you please tell me the way to this place?" The officer, full of arrogance, replied, "Can't you see who I am? I'm not here to give directions. Go ask someone else." The king calmly said, "Brother, there's no harm if a government officer helps someone. But no problem, just tell me which position you hold in the government." The officer, puffing up with pride, said, "Can't you tell by my uniform who I am?" The king said, "Perhaps you're a constable?" The officer replied, "No, I'm higher than that." The king then asked, "So, are you a corporal?" The officer said, "No, I'm even higher than that." The king said, "Then you must be a sergeant?" The officer proudly said, "Yes, you got it right. Now tell me, who are you to ask so many questions?" The king smiled and said, "I am also a government officer." The officer straightened up a bit and asked, "So, are you a corporal?" The king said, "No, higher than that." The officer asked again, "Then are you an inspector?" The king replied, "No, higher than that too." Now the officer started to feel nervous and asked, "Are you a captain?" The king said, "No, even higher than that." The officer's face fell, and in a fearful voice he asked, "Then are you a minister?" The king laughed and said, "No, brother, just one position higher." The officer then looked closely and realized that it was none other than King Vikramaditya standing before him. Terrified, he fell at the king's feet, begging for forgiveness. The king helped him up and said, "There's no need to ask for forgiveness. I understand that those in lower positions often have more arrogance, but when you rise higher, you will naturally learn humility. The greater the person, the more calm and humble they become. That's why it is said, knowledge for arguments, wealth for arrogance, power for oppressing others. But good people use knowledge to teach, wealth to help, and power to protect." So friends, the clear lesson from this story is that true strength and greatness do not lie in showing off or holding a high position, but in humility and treating others well. No matter how much arrogance one has, it always brings a person down, while humility lifts a person up. Just as King Vikramaditya taught the officer, the greater a person is, the more patience and humility they display. Therefore, the real meaning of becoming great in life is to respect others, help them, and never be arrogant.